Along with sushi and tempura, soba noodles are one of Japan's most iconic foods. In Japan, there are around 20,000 restaurants that serve soba. That's about the same as the number of post offices. From Kawara soba in Yamaguchi to Izumo soba in Shimane, many regions around the country have their own unique take on soba, which has been enjoyed locally for years. Soba is familiar to many Japanese people, but as it turns out, there's so much more to it that we don't know.
わさびはね、ここに入れるとね、つゆの味が大きく変わっちゃうんで、ここにちょこちょこっとつけてね。
そういう食べ方。
それでね、これで食べましょう。そうするとわさびの風味が楽しめます。
Teaching us about soba this time is soba expert Mr. Toranosuke Katayama. His soba column has been featured in Sarai magazine for over 20 years. He's a soba aficionado who's constantly putting out articles both in print and online.
美味しいそばってね、ほとんどのね、日本人がね、本当に食べたことないんですよ。本来の日本そばの味ってね。
Here's Boys and Men's Yuhi, a native of the famous soba producing region of Nagano.
これがそば。
これがそばです。黒いとかそう。
これがそばの実。
He'll be getting a rare look into the harvesting process and learning the secrets of soba making.
すごいな、素晴らしいね、天才的だよ。
We'll also see a legendary soba that has been rediscovered.
泣いてるじゃないですか。
美味しいそば食べるとね、泣けてくるんです。
Welcome to the show where Boys and Men introduces Japanese tradition and culture to the world. Think you've seen it all? Well, you just might learn a thing or two. Boys and Men, Japanesque.
Soba is referred to by many different names. On menus, you'll see items like mori soba, zaru soba, and seiro soba. But do you know the difference? Each name has a specific origin. First, mori soba. Mori soba literally means soba served on a dish. The type of dish doesn't matter as long as there's soba on it. This name was used to distinguish it from kake soba, which is served with a sauce already poured on. Next, zaru soba. This referred to soba served on a bamboo basket. It was thought up during the 17th century to mid-19th century when customers complained about water accumulating at the bottom of the dish. Finally, seiro soba. Seiro refers to a type of tray used for steaming. Why then would it be used for soba, a food that is boiled? It turns out this has to do with soba's surprising past.
昔はね、蒸しそばという食べ方をした時代があって、でその時の名残がね、これなんですよ。
そのせいろって何段にも積むじゃないですか。
そうですね、ああいうようなね、
そばがこう積まれて、
そばを蒸して食べた時期があったんです。しかもあったかい状態で食べたりとかね。
Over 150 years ago, soba became hugely popular in Edo, or what is now Tokyo. At its height, there were over 3,000 soba shops just in the city. One of those shops started steaming their soba, which became a huge hit. This past continues to be reflected in the name of the dish. Now that we've learned about the names, we'll have top soba expert Mr. Katayama show us the classy and tasty way to enjoy soba.
おっとそのまま食べるんですか？
いいそばほど、
はい、
そばだけ、そばの味を味わっていただきたいですね。
はい。
Eating the noodles by itself for the first bite is considered classy. Speaking which, most of us have heard that you don't chew soba. Rather, you enjoy the sensation of the noodles going down your throat. Apparently, this is closely related to the type of flour used in Edo.
そばは昔から本来ね10割そばで売っていたものなんですね。そば粉だけでそばにしてたんですけども、
はい、
江戸は冷蔵の設備がなかったですから、はい、そうするとね夏になるとそば粉が劣化して、10割ではねこういう細い麺にできなくなっちゃったんですよ。
To stop the ruined buckwheat flour from falling apart, white flour was added, creating what is known as nihachi soba. The needed to compensate for the loss of the taste and aroma led to a certain idea.
そしたらねじゃあ細くして飲み込ませちゃおうと。噛むなよと。噛んだら味が分かっちゃうから噛まないでねと。
きっかけはそんなごまかすような感じだったんですか？
まあねそういうこともあったんじゃないかということなんですけどね。
In contrast to 100% buckwheat soba, which is eating for its flavor, nihachi soba is more focused on texture. That's where the idea of enjoying the throat sensation comes from. To help make up for the relatively light taste, more shops began to shift their focus to the dipping sauce. What then is the best way to use the sauce?
大体僕が食べるときはこの取ったもののこう半分だけつけて食べるっていう食べ方ですね、いつもは。
そういうふうに食べるとつゆがついていないところがそばの味が楽しめて、はい、つゆがついているところはそばとのハーモニーがね楽しめるんでとてもいい食べ方だと思いますね。
自然にやってました。
すごいですね。
Next, the right way to use the garnishes.
江戸の昔はね大根おろしが非常にねそばの薬味としてはね一番大事なものでした。
There's more to the daikon radish than simply adding spice.
ボリボリとつけて持ち上げてみてください。はい。
はい。
そうするとほら大根おろしがくっついてるでしょ。
ついてきますね。
そうするとつゆつきが良くなるんです。汁がたっぷりつくんです。
はい。
だから汁の美味しさを十分に楽しめる状態になるんです。
ほ
う。Wasabi was originally a substitute for grated daikon. How should wasabi be used?
わさびはねこれここにコチコチコッとつけてね。
そういう食べ方。
それでねこれで食べましょう。
Avoiding putting it into the sauce to enjoy the wasabi's aroma.
これね見てる方もやってほしいですね。
Lastly, the scallions. Mr. Katayama's style is to only have them with the sobayu, the water used to boil the noodles. The scallions act as an accent, much like crouton in soup, and make the sobayu even more enjoyable. Enjoying many different flavors is the classy way to enjoy soba. Next, we asked Mr. Katayama, who has visited more than 3,000 soba shops, to teach us how to tell which shops serve good soba.
一言で言うと、気を使っているそば屋さんが美味しいです。大盛りのそばがあるとね、ちょっと気遣いが良くないなって少ないなって気がするんです。
If the serving is too big, the noodles will become soggy before they can be finished.
盛りそばだけ追加で注文できるとかね、汁なしで盛りそばだけ追加で注文できると、食べ終わった頃にまたそれ持ってきてもらうとかするといつも新しいのが食べられる。
Another thing to look for are shops that bring out the dipping sauce in a bottle. This allows you to adjust the flavor as you go, keeping the flavor consistent throughout the meal.
要するに蕎麦屋さんってほら一生懸命蕎麦打つわけじゃないですか。できるだけ美味しい蕎麦を作ろうと思って打つわけじゃないですか。そしたらこれをなるべくお客さんにちゃんと美味しいまま食べてもらいたいと、そういうところに気の使い方っていうのがあるんですよ。